library. I hope everyone is having a good summer and that you're keeping up with your reading. I hate that I can't be there with you in person, but that doesn't mean that we can't talk about dinosaurs together. So if we decided we wanted to go see a dinosaur at a zoo, would we be able to do that? We would not. Dinosaurs are extinct, so they're not around anymore. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't animals around today that were alive during the time of the dinosaurs, and you're going to meet one in just a few minutes. But before we do that, let's talk about a scientist who studies dinosaurs. That scientist is called a paleontologist. So dinosaurs left some things behind for us. Those things are called fossils. And fossils are the preserved remains of a living organism, like an animal or a plant. You can have trace fossils. That's where an animal, say, stepped in something and left us a footprint. Or you can have cast fossils. That's where an animal dies, and over time, their remains are filled in with sediment and minerals, and it creates a fossil or a replica of that dinosaur. Now, dinosaurs lived a long time ago. The first age of the dinosaur is called the Triassic period. That was 245 million years ago. Very long time. And it lasted to 208 million years ago. Then you have the next period. Oh, by the way, during the Triassic period, there was only one continent. Now we have 7 continents, right? There was one continent known as Pangaea. All right, so the next period is you probably heard of this one for sure, the Jurassic period. So the Jurassic period started 208 million years ago and lasted to 145 million years ago. You start to see some larger dinosaurs there. Oh, and that one big continent, Pangaea, split into 2 continents. You had Laurasia and Gondwana. Now the last period of the dinosaurs is the Cretaceous period. That period started 145 million years ago and lasted to 65 million years ago. And those 2 continents broke up into the 7 continents that we know today. All right, let's meet that animal I was talking about. Do you think you could tell what a dinosaur ate just by looking at their teeth? Now, let's think. If the teeth were like this, flat, I wonder what that dinosaur would eat. Oh, I bet they just ate leaves and grass. They were known as herbivores. Wow. Now, I wonder if a dinosaur had really big, sharp teeth like this. I wonder what they would eat. Oh, I bet they ate meat. They were carnivores, of course. Well, you know what's interesting with us is we have sharp teeth and we have flat teeth. Wonder what that's about. Oh, we're omnivores. We eat both. All right, let's talk about some specific dinosaurs. The first one I want to talk about is this one right here. This was known as a Velociraptor, and they actually had a really sharp toenail, and they were really smart. They hunted in packs. In fact, I have a copy of an actual fossil. So this is a mold of a real fossil, and this is a Velociraptor's toenail. That's scary, right? So these dinosaurs were relatively small. They were only about 6 feet from the tip of their nose to the tip of their tail. Something fairly interesting, though, is they had feathers. All right, so I got my parrots out. This is Melvin, and behind me right there is Murphy. Something interesting about birds, Paleontologists and scientists now believe that a lot of the dinosaurs were more closely related to birds instead of reptiles. Some of them even had feathers, like a velociraptor. The next dinosaur I want to talk about is the Triceratops, this dinosaur right here. It actually had 3 horns, 1, 2, 3, and tri means 3, so Triceratops. It also had flat teeth, so as we know, that was an herbivore. It also had this very cool frill right here. This was designed as protection against a specific dinosaur, and that dinosaur was Tyrannosaurus rex. Now, if the Triceratops was on this side of the T-Rex, probably a pretty good chance. This side for the T-Rex, not such a good chance. So to give you an idea of the size of this dinosaur, I have a drawing from a trace fossil left by a Triceratops, and that's a footprint. Take a look at the actual size of this dinosaur's foot. All right, the next dinosaur I have is a favorite of a lot of people, and that is the Tyrannosaurus rex. Look at those sharp, sharp teeth. Oh, obviously a carnivore. So they had these big, strong legs. They had a very strong tail, obviously a strong, strong bite, and then teeny tiny arms. Very strange, right? So there's an activity you can actually do at home to test out what it would be like to have a T-Rex set of arms. And you'll need something kind of long. I'm using a PVC pipe. You could use a broom, you could use a yardstick, and you'll also need a ball. So let's see what I'm talking about. Okay, so how big was T-Rex? This is a copy from an actual fossil of a T-Rex tooth. Look at the size of that. It is enormous. Clearly a carnivore. Okay, so from the tip of their nose to the tip of their tail, about how big was the Tyrannosaurus rex? They were actually 20 feet. Sometimes 30, but mostly average around 20 feet. So what does that look like? How big is 20 feet? All right, our next dinosaur is the Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus was a sauropod. You might also know them as a long neck. Why do you suppose they had this really long neck? Right, same reason that a giraffe did, so they could eat certain leaves out of the trees. They had big flat teeth, so they were an herbivore. Now I have an actual fossil. This is a real fossil. This was found with a sauropod, and it is probably around 125 or so million years old. So what do you suppose this was? It was actually found in their stomach. So herbivores have a tendency to also eat rocks. So the dinosaur was eating this rock. They're known as gastroliths. These rocks aid in digestion. So if you had a bunch of rocks in your belly, they could smash into each other and help grind up all of those leaves and grass. So a real fossil. Gastrolith. All right, so how big was a Brachiosaurus? So from the tip of their nose to the tip of their tail, what would be your guess? They were 100 feet. What does 100 feet look like? Check it out. And one last thing, I have another real fossil. This one is about 100 million years old. You can see the sediment, you can see the minerals. Beautiful fossil. So if you were making a guess about what this fossil is, what do you think? I've had people tell me it might be a head, it could be a part of a foot, it could be a stomach. What do you think? Let's get another closer look. You know what it is? Dinosaur poop. It's dinosaur poop. Dinosaur poop is known as coprolites. And you can learn a ton about a dinosaur by looking at their poop. Coprolites. Beautiful poop.